Tribute to our nation's veterans removed just days before the 4th of July. This Facebook post got people fired up. They are not happy about this mural being painted over. It was on the side of a bar in Deep Ellum. News 8's Damon Fernandez spoke to that artist.
Friday night in Deep Ellum. Crowds are coming. Businesses are getting ready. But the big buzz around Elm Street right now is all over this black wall.
My entire military veteran family's hurt. There's no reason for this.
This black wall on the side of the Green Room Bar and Grill is causing quite the controversy. Artist Preston Panic says someone painted over his mural, which honored military veterans. He's blaming Westdale Property Management, and so does the president of Deep Ellum Neighbors Association in a post being shared on Facebook.
It's part of the 10 Murals project.
This is what that mural looked like. It was part of a free street art project featured on WFAA-TV's Good Morning Texas program back in May.
They painted over an American flag black. They did it a couple days before July 4th. And there's no reason for it. This wall is painted black because he wanted it painted black.
Panic is a popular artist. His work can be seen on walls across the Deep Ellum area. He says the owner of the Green Room commissioned and supported the mural he painted here.
Sorry guys, I'm just so surprised they picked this mural to take down. This was supposed to show everybody that these are kids fighting for us.
However, Panic claims it's not the first time Westdale Property Management executives threatened to cover up his work.
And the last time I spoke to him, he also said that Deep Ellum is changing. It is no longer here for artists and muralists. That's not the vision that Westdale has.
Just why the property managers ordered the mural to be destroyed is still a big question. So far, no one from Westdale Property Management Association has returned calls and requests for comment.
I mean, this was just a straight slap in the face.
And the artist community and Deep Ellum supporters say this issue is not over. They're taking their concerns to social media and demanding answers. In Deep Ellum, Damon Fernandez, Channel 8 News.
All right.